right, we are live again, and I had to leave early from doing the Cyberfrog action figure review before, and I'm just going to pick up now that I've muted YouTube playback. I put the link for the Heather Swain review in the description below, so if you'd like, you can watch that one. And in it, I started reviewing the 90's Cyberfrog figure. I was surprised how long it went. I was planning on, I figured I'd be able to do all four, but now I'm thinking I'm just going to review this one for this video, and then I'll cut it off there and see how the rest of the day goes, and maybe I'll review this biz later on. But so if you want to rewatch, like when I started with this one, you can check the link below and go to that front Heather Swain one. So, but I'm going to just recap quickly. Like I had just shown off the packaging, got the old Cyberfrog artwork there and there, the variant. Oops, I got pop. Variant there, the whole group shot, and it's all packaged nicely. Like nothing being wrecked in packaging, and I opened it. I cut myself, but now I'm okay because I got a Band-Aid. And just look at all the accessories in there: extra pair of hands, extra head, extra weapons, and the Vizpiz hand, and then the stand. And I had taken out Cyberfrog figure before. Oh, put them back in pretty good. I want to be careful for those his shoulder blades there. Went over how nice the detail was and the sculpting. Plastic quality is really nice. One thing that I am concerned about now that is now these are really rubbery, which makes sense because otherwise, if they were like hard plastic, it'd snap off pretty easily, and so that's like why I choose the rubbery. But I can also see eventually, like let's see over time if it warps. Sometimes the rubbery plastic can warp, and it could still break down here. You've got the thin connection. I think as long as you're careful with it, it's like you can do this much with it, so it should be fine as long as you don't go overboard. And the last video I went over the articulation for the head. Couldn't quite go back and I can't really go back and forth, but and then started going over how far this is, as far up as the arms can go. So yeah, I should finish recapping the head articulation. You can go like kind of twist like that. So you kind of like, yeah, but can't like really go back and forth. You can't like that. So but yeah, like the arms, otherwise you can rotate all the way around at the shoulder. So yeah, it would be. So this is about how far out you can get them. This way, you can't get like the whole range up. That'd be something to think about, Ethan. I don't know how well it would work, but like some butterfly joints. Seen it like at least in Spider-Man figures where there's like an extra joint kind of in the chest, like here, and then it can go in even further. Like you kind of have like this rotating part in here, so you can go all the way out, bring the arms in more like that. And then but continuing, he's got the bicep curl. I think it's like the same articulation as Heather Swain. Bicep curl there. Double jointed elbows. And I took my Heather Swain downstairs. I forget if she had double jointed elbows. I don't think she did. So that's extra articulation for Cyberfrog. And then he's got the wrist rotation. And we got a little bit of bend there. That's about all the further it can go in. You can go out just a little bit. So you got a little bit of bend there. These are like the fist hands. It comes. We'll look at the other hands a little bit. let's see his ab crunch. He has not very much. There's the joint here, and you can see it in the back, and of course in the front. Now Heather didn't have the ab crunch at all, from what I recall. Yeah, I think it was more so she could turn. Oh, hey, Tree Goblin, how's it going? Just reviewing, as you can tell from the title. Got my Cyberfrog figures. I actually think I might be one of the earlier people to get it. In other campaigns, like I'm still waiting on my Wreck Planet one, but pretty fortunate, so I thought I'd get the review out quick. Yeah, so that's it. All right. Yeah, we're on the hip crunch or the ab crunch. This is about, yeah, it really doesn't have any ab crunch, and I think it's the belt. I think the belt kind of gets in the way. If you wanted to shave that off, I personally won't, but you might be able to get more of an ab crunch there if you do want. Yeah, otherwise, going down. Okay, yeah, he doesn't have a waist rotation. Boy, and that's actually kind of disappointing. You got this whole belt here. It's got a hole in for the weapon attachment. But you think at some point there they could put in a waist one. And for a character as dynamic as Cyberfrog, I think that's a pretty important point of articulation to have. So I'll have to see if the modern one has it, but that is a little concerning, to be honest. So yeah, so far, like, they're great figures, and just the only complaints, like, with Heather Swain's eyes and the face painting a little bit, which I know Ethan struggled with, and yeah, I like it. Now his midsection can use some more articulation. Let's try. His legs, it looks like they go like they're on the same piece in there, like an axis piece, just like Heather Swain had. So they'll both go up together, but they are separate because they can go forward this far and backwards this far. And there's a little he can keep when you go straighter, he can keep them when you go forward. He can keep them straighter than like Heather could. Heather's would kind of go out to the side just from how she was shaped, but this one, Cyberfrog, they can stand closer, so that's good. That's good. And I would have liked some more movement here to go up further, and maybe it would have had to do like it probably would have been too complex to keep these in, but like put like another sliding joint in there so these slide over. I don't know if that might have been a bit too much, like for the group Ethan was working with. That'd be something I'd love to ask about, like how he got the factories working with and just all the people involved. But see, so out to the side, they go quite a bit out. His leg bumps into the belt there, so that's all the further they can go. That's pretty good. He has the thigh rotation. It's double jointed knees. He's got the knee pads. I think these are missiles. I can't remember for sure, but it always could be. It's Go would say, it's your toy. Play with it as you wish, something like that. But everything feels nice and secure while I'm posing it. Like I'm not worried about anything breaking. So he's got kind of like double ankle. He's got like a calf rotation there. This one's a little loose, but it holds. So if I need to, I can tighten that. And then he's also got ankle rotation. So it's like an extra joint. And yeah, sometimes that can come in handy. This, I don't know if it really would, but it's okay. This ankles go back and forth, and he does have ankle tilt. Wow, he's got great ankle tilt. I remember this is like I talked about in the Heather Swain video. That's something that people asked Ethan if he could put in there. Look at that; it's like all the way out. and then each toe is individually articulated at the base of the foot. So we can go down that far and can go up a 90-degree angle each way. Would have been nice bonus points for like the toe knuckles also, but that might have been, again, asking too much. That is a pretty small point to try to put articulation and put a pin in there or something. All right, so now that we've looked at all the articulation, let's see what kind of pose I can get with him. So yeah, he has, again, I'd like to try and like pull out the comic and try to redo some of the poses. So you can get kind of like a nice dynamic, be able to, like, I think, sit him down. Yeah. His feet give him a really nice balance. So I have a lot of like, mostly it's Transformers now, but it can be hard to like balance them because they've got the weight will get to be too much. But like with his feet, the size of them, you can get a lot of good posing with him that way. And I think like just the size of his toes, you probably, oh, that's a bit too much. Yeah, there we go. Now I think, I don't know if you'd be able to, I can't really squat. I'd like to do the Spider-Man pose, like this how Spider-Man gets in that hunch pose. Kind of like to do something with him, but just with the limit, where the articulation is limited in his lower body, it's I don't think that'll be possible. So now let's look at some of the accessories. I'll start with the stand. So looks like it. I think it's just like Heather stand. Got the base. Yep, with the 4 holes again. This one feels tight, like the Heather swing one. This part felt pretty loose when I put her on it. This one feels pretty tight, but we'll see how well it can hold up. Cyberfrog here. So there we got all set up. Of course, with the stand, you want to get. Oh, let me move it on the end here, there, to bounce away. Yeah. Now this one is a lot tighter, and I don't know if I tried just turning this for the Heather Swain one, and it still didn't seem to tighten up that much. This one, yeah, I could probably get a really good, say, flying kick or flying attack with this one. I don't know, something like that. All right, let's take a look at some more of the accessories. Maybe that's just why the review took so long. Last one is all the accessories. It's more accessories than I see with a lot of other like mainstream figures. So he actually comes with the one head, the one extra head, like Heather's. He's got the smiley face. This Heather came with 2. No, I wouldn't have been as upset if I broke the Heather one. I hope I don't break. Oh no, this one actually, the head came off like a lot easier than the Heather one. The Heather one was pretty tight. And so now he's got his grin. It's kind of like and his raised right eye. It's kind of like the a Ninja Turtle look. Well, no, they had a little bit different how they did it, but actually for his other hands, we're gonna go back to Soul Head. Yeah, and this head switches out a lot easier than the Heather Swain that did. That one I had to pull quite a bit. I wasn't really worried that I was going to break it or anything, but it was pretty hard to get off of that. Now I'm going to pull out all the hands here because they were packaged. All right, I do see a little bit of a difference. Oops, watch my mouse here. So he comes packaged with the fists on, but then he's got. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. This pair. Ooh, there. This pair. See, they're clasped a little bit. The thumb is almost touching the finger, so it's kind of like, oh, that might fit in with. Oh no, actually not. I was thinking maybe for his weapons like Heather's were, but they're not, because it looks like those attach to the wrist. And now this pair, see, they're more wide open. Unlike like the last pair, the thumbs are touching the finger. This pair, they're like fully open. It's like this versus this. And so, of course, you can mix and match them if you want. You could have, I don't know if I'll bother trying each one out like I did with Heather. Let's try switching this one so you could have the more open one. Yeah, well, that went in without much difficulty. It's got about the same amount of wrist movement. So now I can kind of have him like the one hand back open while the front one is ready to punch. Something like that. Of course, his backhand can't. Like, yeah, it's because these blades if the blades could somehow be stationed on a joint so that you could move this arm all the way back, that would be a lot better for posing. I do that with some of my other figures, like the one hand forward and the other hand back. Like this, you can't really do that. Oops, with the Cyberfrog figure. I guess kind of like this. Then you got the spikes in the front. I imagine maybe that's how it would work for Cyberfrog in the comic. That might be just his the amount he can move the way he has to move his arms with giving him Caxton or giving his cybernetics. So there's the two different hands. I think again these ones I will put back on the fists because looks like will fit be good with weapon. Well, except for this other accessory you want to try first. It's him holding this piss head. So after he beats one of the bad guys, one of the Vizpiz,
Hey, Dad.
oh, just a second. All right, I'm back. Where is it? Okay, I was talking about the Vispiz head hand accessory. Yeah, at first it's kind of heavier, but he actually can hold it up pretty well. I don't know if you want to do a scene where he like beats one Vispiz and then something, gory like that, or he's using this as a weapon against another one, or just like a triumphant pose type thing. And then the last accessory are the weapons. So we'll do those quick. Yeah, and there was like I think it was in Blood Honey. So spoiler. Okay. A shot of a drawing of Cyberfrog with like battle armor, which I think would make a cool figure. It's real quick, so it's not much of a spoiler, but I just want to be careful. So I was watching Shane Davis stream, and he just like flippantly mentioned something that spoiled part of Wreck Planet, which I still haven't received. So I assume these parts go on top, the red circles. I'd have to see how this is used in the comic because I'm pretty sure it was in there. But you've got the hole in the back to plug this in. Yeah, and there's like an indentation, like a slot there where the belt fits. So yeah, it doesn't really hurt the ab crunch because there wasn't much of an ab crunch there anyway. And now these, well, let me check the package. Pretty sure, yeah, that's right. There's artwork on the package of how it looks with these. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward, just how I thought. I'm trying to see where these clip on. So we got the clips there. And usually you'd want to clip these on like to the wrist. Now this is kind of the bendy plastic. Is this part? I'm not sure if this part is supposed to be able to turn. I don't think so. I don't want to try it too much because that looks like it'd probably break off. Yeah. Maybe I'm supposed to use other hands with this. There. So just kind of had to hold it open while I slid that on there. Oh, but it came off. The back part came off. There. Now let's try the other side. So pull that open a little bit. There. And it just slid on. And now it popped off again. Now this weapon was just like a bonus for stretch goal, so it's not like it's a major selling point. But since it came with it, might as well review it. And I'll be with the length. I think these tubes should have been longer because it doesn't leave much room. This is about all the further than. Like it'd be nice to do a pose where he's like got one arm out and like as if he's like blasting off in the distance, but yeah, I guess you can do. I'm thinking like this, but then this doesn't really stay up. Oh, there. I guess I kind of got it. So yeah, you can do it. But yeah, it's not staying straight on there. Now it like slides back. So it still works out pretty well. But that would be my main critique for this is to have these cables, these tubing longer. Then it'd be easier to play with and pose. When you move around, these like to rotate down, so it's a little part's a little tricky. So yeah, but to wrap up, all in all, a great figure. The posability is really good. The decoration, the deco and sculpt is fantastic. I love the Cyberfrog design and concept. Yeah, the one thing with it is like the ab crunch, no waist rotations that limits some of the dynamic poses. And like with the head, I think you kind of like a classic frog pose of one like ready to like leap forward. So it's hard to do with him because you can't bend his torso up and his head up to look straight ahead. So it does kind of limit him a little bit. And then this weapon is a little bit limiting in when you put it on, but otherwise, yeah, I think well worth the money. Great build, feels nice and sturdy, and really playable. So, yeah, so I'll wrap that up here. Please give this video a like, hit subscribe, and share the video. And later on, see if I can tonight. I want to review the Vizpiz and the modern Cyberfrog. So thanks for watching.